All right, everybody, welcome. Clint Losh here. What you're seeing on the screen right now is right before this session started. I was like, you know what? Why don't I create a Facebook group, private school marketing Facebook group, a great way for us all to engage after this webinar. You don't have to wait for us to do webinars. If you want to, talk to your peers, hey, what's working for you? I'll certainly be in there. Providing tons of content. I think that groups like that are a great way for, certainly if this is your role at your school, or that's one of the hats that you wear, trying to stay on top of what's working now, what are some best practices. This will be a great way for us to just connect on a regular basis and get your questions answered daily, and so that you don't just have to wait for these webinars. So yeah, if you click on, or you won't be able to click on here, if you go into your GoToWebinar dashboard, there should be a handout there. You can download that. That's the slides. There's also, you should be able to click the link. You're not going to be in there right away. It'll say it's pending. I think that's the way it works. I'm going to approve everybody once this webinar is done. So, and again, last thing I'll mention about this, if for whatever reason you can't access it, something's going wrong, maybe your school's internet, just type in your Facebook email address. I can just upload that into the group and then you get instant access. All right, so let's get rolling. I have a feeling this might go past the hour. Again, if you have to jump off, no worries. You're going to get the recording within an hour after this is over automatically. So, but I definitely want to try to get everything in within the hour. So lead magnets, 7 lead magnet ideas with examples proven to increase new family inquiries. Real quick, type in a 2 if you have no idea what a lead magnet is and you've never heard the term before. And type 1 if you have, and there's a good chance that you have. I held a webinar back in August where I talked a little bit about this. So even if you were on that webinar, we're going to get into a lot more depth today. So a lot of 2s, a couple 1s, a lot of 2s. Okay, cool. So even if you have no idea what a lead magnet is, we're obviously going to talk about what one is, and we're going to go through some real examples. At least I love seeing examples, seeing how other folks are doing things, very visual. That's exactly what we're going to do today. And we're also going to get into the strategy behind it. All right. So I want to make a promise. When it comes to webinars, I'm sure we've all had this experience where we attend a webinar, 45 minutes to an hour, we get a few good nuggets of information, a few new things to think about. When the webinar's over, we just never really take action. I'm as guilty of this as anybody. We either weren't given enough information to even take action, or life or work just gets in the way and we just don't have time to do it. My goal when creating this webinar was for that not to happen. I wanted to create something where when you're done this, you're going to say, I know exactly what I need to do, and you're going to be able to implement it, because you're going to see some case studies here where implementing the strategies that we're going to go through today is going to have an instant impact, especially in regards to this idea of attracting new families. So if you're sitting there and you're like, look, enrollment's flat, enrollment's declining, or you just want a more predictable stream of new families so that you aren't feeling left scrambling or wondering what marketing ideas you can implement to, so that you might be good this year, but how do you guarantee next year's crop of families and next year and next year? So I want you to leave here today ready to take action and not just go back and say, oh, no, that was some good information, and not do anything. So my goal is, if you stay to the end, I'm going to do something I think it's really, really cool. I'm going to show you how to have your own lead magnet set up and create it by the end of the week without having to pay an expensive agency to do it or a website designer to do it, and then without you having to spend hours, days, months trying to create this yourself. Because as I mentioned earlier, I held a webinar in August about this concept of a lead magnet. Everybody left that webinar like, that was pretty cool, good information, haven't heard about this before. And then all the questions came in. I got so many questions. Also, one of the reasons I started that Facebook group. I got so many questions saying, how do we create this? You're going to see some things like ebooks and guides. Who writes this? How much time is this going to take? You may not just have the dedicated role of just marketing your school. That just might be one of the 10 hats that you're wearing. Right? So you don't have time to create this. And a lot of folks felt overwhelmed. So since then, I've been really thinking about what's the best way to help. What can I give you that's going, because I know how important this is to your marketing, to the growth of your school. What's the best way for you to implement this so that you don't feel overwhelmed? So it's really going to be important that you try to stay till the end, because it's a really cool offer. It's not going to cost you anything, but you really need to take action. I'm going to give you some great bribes for you to do that. So, and you're probably going to wonder, well, what's the catch? You don't have to pay me anything. There's a small catch, but you'll see it's not that big of a deal. Joan, you had said, has the webinar begun? It has absolutely begun. So hopefully nobody else is thinking the same thing and you're following along. All right. So that's me. That's me, my wife, 2 kids. I got 1 kid there who's turned the other way. I don't know anybody else who has kids. Trying to get them to pose for a picture is virtually impossible. But I don't know if you can see the signatures in the background of the sign. That's actually a green and white Eagles bus from last year's Super Bowl. We all got to sign it. Pretty cool. So I'm a huge Eagles fan. I live right outside Philadelphia, for anybody else that local as well. Big game tonight. Hopefully, there's no, I'm not sure if I want any Giants fans on here, but it's okay if you are. I usually don't like to talk a lot about myself during the webinars. I like to jump into the content, but I mentioned just a few things because it's really important for what we're going to discuss today. I've been doing digital marketing for just over 9 years. Specifically, I do inbound lead generation. I used to do it for financial service companies. I do it internally for ISM. Plus, I wear the hat of doing financial aid. Many of you know me that way. And what I've learned over the 9+ years of actually doing digital marketing for myself, for other businesses, is the following. First is, everybody here's got a website. No longer is a website something that's, you have a fancy website and that's appealing. Everybody's got a website now, okay? But if by just adding 2 pages to any website, it can turn your website into what I call just a digital brochure. That's what most websites are now, to a lead generation machine, where your website is actually doing the marketing for you. Outside of word of mouth marketing, your website is your #1 marketing tool. All right, so I'm going to show you how to just add 2 pages that turns it into a lead generation and marketing tool. What else have I learned? Most marketers, frankly, are wasting a lot of time and money on advertising. We all probably do some advertising one way or another, from Facebook to billboards to radio ads. Without the strategies that we're going to talk about today, you're just frankly wasting a lot of money. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through. You don't need to hire expensive programmers or agencies to build a marketing funnel. So funnel is a more common term being used these days. It's nothing that needs to be fancy. But yes, there are things that need to be built onto your website. You don't need to change your website. They just kind of need to be bolted on. And traditionally, or where people get freaked out, is they feel that they have no website design experience, they have no coding experience, they need to go hire somebody. If you don't trust what I'm about to say, Google once in a while, or Google, how much does a sales funnel cost? How much does a marketing funnel cost? If you try to go pay somebody to do this, it'll cost you a minimum of $5,000 to do it. I'm going to show you how to do that, not with $5,000. And look, I've done this. I've paid other people. When I finally learned how to do it myself, it was like, why did I pay them to do it? But anyway, you actually don't need to do that, okay? And frankly, 99% of all organizations, this goes businesses, schools, doesn't matter. They're all marketing the same way, which isn't a good thing. Everybody's got a website. Look at the school down the street. We're all obviously trying to differentiate yourself from the other schools, from your competition, from the public schools, right? Now, we all have our mission, right? The mission is certainly what should be front and center as to what sets you apart. But what are they doing, right? They're searching on Google, they're looking on Facebook, they're going to your website, they're looking around. Everybody's website is almost virtually the same. Everybody has some different stats, different graphics, but it's virtually the same. So we're going to talk about how to change that. And if all you did was implement the strategy I'm going to talk about today, you're going to be light years ahead of your competition, I promise you. So when it comes to marketing, over the last 9 or 10 years, I've done a lot of stuff right, done a lot of stuff wrong. So today, you're going to learn the things that I learned the hard way, both from time and money, but you're going to essentially have the chance to cheat, cut through all the, the fat and mystery of generating new inquiries, and you're actually going to see what some other schools that are doing that are doing these things and how they're seeing some really amazing results. All right, so I see a few other Eagles fans on here. Pretty cool. Matthew, I'm not sure. You're a Giants fan. I don't know. I think I have the ability to kick people off here, but I'll let you stay, especially if the Eagles win. All right, so what is the hard way? I kind of hit on this already, but people think you need to spend a lot of money paying a designer, spend months learning. Even if you want to do this yourself, there are best practices, and we're going to get into them today about how to do this right so that you maximize what's called conversions. People are going to visit your website. We need to convert them. We need to get their contact information. We need to be able to follow up with them. There's ways to do that properly, and there's ways to do that wrong. So that's the hard way, trying to learn it yourself. And spending more time trying to create it yourself, doing that writing. That's what I mentioned earlier. When we did that webinar back in August, everybody was like, cool, but oh my God, how much time do I have to spend doing all this? So the easy way, there is an easy way. Do you guys want the easy way? Where you don't have to pay anybody else, you won't have to spend months trying to do it yourself, and you can really ethically copy what other schools are doing. That's why I'm showing you the examples. You don't want to plagiarize and copy word for word, but copying funnels, the process, is perfectly fine. It's actually, there's a common term out there in the marketing world called funnel hacking, where you look at successful funnels and what other people are doing, and you just mimic it and customize it for your own school. And you see the term there, hope and pray marketing. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of folks are doing right now if you don't have the strategies in place that we're going to talk about. Any advertising you're doing, I refer to hope and pray because without this idea of a lead magnet, doing, ranking in Google, running ads, all you're really hoping is that people find your website and that they're compelled enough to inquire. But not everybody's ready to inquire, right? They might just be in the evaluation stage, trying to, learn what are my options, who's doing what. So if somebody doesn't inquire, you're missing out on tons of website traffic of people that you can no longer follow up with. Just think about, how much easier will life be, if you had a predictable system to get people to move down your admissions funnel, where you can take an actual stranger, turn them into a lead and an inquiry through automation. So I'm going to also talk about automation. There's a time for automation. There's a time for non-automation, personal reach out. We're going to talk a lot more about automation today. For example, a lot of you are prepping right now probably for an open house, right? You've got some open houses coming up, wondering how do I market? What kind of ads do I run? And I see a lot of you spending so much money on billboards and lawn signs and radio ads, Facebook ads. What if you could practically save all that money, all that time, send 1, 2, 3 emails maybe, which is virtually free, and fill your open house, right? Just as an example. That'd be pretty cool, right? So what else would you be able to spend, especially if you're wearing multiple hats, what could you spend more time doing to help grow your school? If you don't have to worry about the nitty-gritty details of actually creating those outbound ads, right? So that's what we're hopefully going to be able to do today. Jesse, you had said, can you please define lead magnet now? I promise you I'm going to get into what a lead magnet is. I'm going to give you a good definition. But essentially, collecting contact information in exchange for a piece of value, all right? It actually comes before the inquiry, so we'll definitely get into that. See some other football fans on here, Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys fan, Laura, I'm not sure if I can allow you to stay on. That might be worse than the Giants. All right. Let's get back into it. Okay, here are a couple schools. We're actually going to talk about a few other schools as we go through, but when they've embraced these strategies, this idea of inbound marketing, lead magnets are part of inbound marketing. Whitby School increased leads within 1 year by 54%, additional new contracts by 73%. Oak Knoll, I used them as an example in that August webinar, 42% increase in new family inquiries. Proctor Academy, 40% boost in applications, 13% increase in campus visits. How cool is that, right? Just by part of its tactics, part of its strategy which we're going to get into today, but it's also a mindset, a pull versus push mindset of attracting families, compelling them to come to you rather than you always feeling like you need to figure out what am I going to do to reach out to them, get more eyeballs on my website or my offer. What your offer might be just be an open house, right? Because every minute right now, guys, you're on this webinar. Every minute you're on this webinar, there's a parent visiting your website, then leaving without you capturing their contact information. Some will inquire, right? They're ready to go. They're interested. They know they want more information. But most, probably 95%, they're not ready. They're just in the evaluation stage. They're just trying to learn. All right. So they're hitting your website. This is why I talk about hope and pray. Even if you're running ads or you're ranking at the top of Google, people are hitting your website and they're just clicking around. You're not directing their path. And that's a lot of what we want to get into. We're not directing their path. So that's why the wrong question that many are asking is, how do I get more traffic to my website, to my open house, to my inquiry form? What are the ads I need to run? Should I do Facebook ads? Should I do print? Should I rank in Google? Those are the wrong questions to ask. The fact is, traffic is all around you. Look, if you go to Google, Facebook, go to the agency selling billboard ads, they'll gladly take your money and send people to your website. You just need to cut them a check. That's the easy part, right? The right question to ask is, what are we going to do when the people get there? What offers will I make them? How well are they going to convert? How much is a visit to my lead magnet worth? My lead magnet landing page worth? Being actually able to quantify it. How much is a new lead worth, right? When you embrace inbound marketing, that's certainly the strategy we're going to talk about today, these are the questions you need to be asking before running the ads, so that when you run the ads, you can see what's most effective. Where are people going? Where are they dropping off? What do we need to improve? Okay. So, what if I told you every time you generated a visit to your lead magnet, you made, let's say, just arbitrary number. You knew that you could track that lead or your overall leads, and for every person that went to that web page, you could say that's worth $10. Could you get traffic to that page? Of course. You know that it's going to be a profitable thing to do. You could spend up to $10 to generate that visit without losing money. If you know what your yield is, what your conversion rates are, and we're not going to get into a ton of that today. That's part of what I'll talk about in the Facebook group, probably a little bit more. But being able to know how many people visit, how many inquire, how many enroll, and then you know how you need to run ads and how many clicks you need to get. All right. So by utilizing this strategy, that funnel is you're gonna be able to track them all the way through. And it comes down to this idea of a parent value journey. All right, the parent value journey. You might have heard me talk about this for those that are on the August webinar. I essentially streamlined it a little bit more. I'll talk high level what this journey is, right? When you hear it, it makes a lot of sense. I want to talk about this before the lead magnet, because the lead magnet plays a role. And if I just came on here and said, well, here's your 7 examples, that would truly do you a disservice, because it's part of an overall strategy. And for those that truly understand the overall strategy, it's going to be game changing. So start by understanding the complete parent value journey. If you understand this strategy, you can intentionally engineer your marketing in such a way that it moves people predictably through the stages in this template. All right, so we're starting at the bottom left with awareness. Just so if you're looking around and wondering where to look, there's a lot of arrows. We're going to start at the bottom left, and I'll talk about that in a second. In other words, you no longer have to wonder if you'll be able to generate leads. You won't have to cross your fingers, hope for new families. When you understand this journey, even getting reviews and referrals will become automatic. The journey, the parent value journey, it's really the strategic foundation of everything you will do. It's the master template, if I could say, which every other digital marketing discipline and tactic is built. So whatever you're doing, blogging, running ads, ranking in Google, what videos, testimonial videos, if you know where they fit in this journey, that's how you strategically will move people along. So the job of marketing is to move prospects. So really, when you think about just what is marketing, it's not just running ads, getting people to your website, sending an email with your newsletter, getting people to read it. It's the job of marketing is to move prospects and families seamlessly and subtly through each phase of this parent value journey. Before someone can enroll or inquire, they have to realize that you exist, right? So that's step one, and we're going to spend a lot of our time in the beginning here. Somebody at Kara, will you email the PowerPoint? Yeah, and by the way, if you guys want to download this, in the handouts in your GoToWebinar doc or dashboard, the handouts should be there. I believe you could download them and you should be able to get them. I'll also send them afterwards as well. But let's just go high level real quick, and then we'll focus in on the lead magnet, which is why you're all here, obviously. Step one, parent value journey. Bottom left, that yellow box, awareness. Before someone can enroll, they have to realize you exist, right? Not everybody is aware of you right now. The step is pretty self-explanatory. It's where a person becomes aware of you. Nobody's born knowing who Apple and Amazon are. At some point, they have to become aware of who these companies are, who you are, in order for them to inquire and enroll, right? So this could be just an ad that they see, a newsletter that gets sent over to them. They search on Google and they find you. So just creating awareness, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. So when they become aware of you, they know who you are, but you're still in these early stages of the relationship with them. They don't know you. They may not like you yet. They may not trust you yet. They may not trust you with their child's education. So we need to start developing that relationship with that family. And that's where we get into step two, which is engage. How do we create engagement? This is where you start, quote unquote, conversing with your prospects. You engage them through some form of content that provides maybe entertainment, information, or both, right? Maybe it's just a blog post, maybe it's a video, maybe it's the recent highlight from one of the plays or sporting events, whatever it might be. All right, so that they're starting to learn a little bit more about you. And then this is the piece that almost everybody misses, because a lot of people have that, right? A lot of you have that. That's your website. And then you're hoping that they inquire, which skips over a big step, and that's subscribe. All right, at this point, they know who you are. They've engaged with you in some way. However, if you failed to get that person's contact information, basic information, email, maybe first name, maybe not even first name, odds are high you'll never hear from them again, and that's the problem, okay? Because people today, we're inundated with marketing and content. It's creating a scarcity of attention. Our attention's being grabbed from all these different areas. Just because someone reads one of your blog posts today doesn't mean they're going to remember to revisit your site, excuse me, in the future. So instead, you need to get that person to progress to step 3 in the value journey, which is subscribe, which is your lead magnet, okay? So I'll hit these other sections, and then we're going to dive into details about the lead magnet. So the lead magnet, again, briefly, is when a person gives you their contact information, not your full inquiry form where you're asking 15 different questions. They're giving you their email address, and probably their email address only, maybe a few other pieces of information. I'll show you some examples of that. But it now grants you permission to contact them again in the future. So you build up this email database. Maybe you could send them a text. Maybe you can send them an email. You need to fill your open house. If you have this database that you're communicating with and nurturing, it is so much easier to get them to do what you need them to do. Again, think about how you got to this webinar. I didn't post on Facebook. I didn't run an ad. I didn't call you. I sent you 1, maybe 2 emails, and you're here. Email marketing, which is what you're going to do with subscription, is vitally important yet underutilized, okay? And it's more than just sending your newsletter. But again, we'll move on to step 4. This is where your inquiry comes in. Once we've got their contact information, we want to move them to inquire. They're interested. We know that they're interested. Now we need to deliver them content to compel them to inquire. Moving on, excite. This is where they inquire. Maybe they're ready to come to an open house or have a shadow day. Right now you want to excite them, right? Have an amazing on-campus experience. Getting a phone call from you. This is where some of the automation might dip off. A lot of the stuff before is there's going to be a lot of marketing automation. Seeing a relevant alumni story. This is where you want to send them, get them excited. If they're a baseball player, getting a baseball alumni video, or having the baseball coach personally email that person. Get them excited. So that's how you get them excited, and that's what compels them to potentially enroll. And that's where we ascend them. That's quote unquote, we say in the marketing and business world, your core offer, right? Everybody has the same core offer. We want them to enroll. So that's what we're doing with ascending. And then advocate and promote. So an advocate is what you might call a passive promoter. They won't necessarily promote your school in an active way, but when asked about you, they're going to respond favorably. The final two stages here are often thought to be outside the control of marketing, but that frankly is simply not true. You can create marketing that intentionally generates more advocates, more promoters. And promoters differ from advocates in that you can actively seek to spread the word about your school. So in some cases, a promoter simply might have a great experience. They want to share your story with friends and family, or they might promote because you've created some form of incentive. Share this with 5 people, we'll give you a mug, something like that, right? But that's the parent value journey. The way that you move people through each stage is through the use of marketing campaigns. The biggest mistake that people make is they think one campaign can move people through multiple stages at once. I just need to run Facebook ads, get them to my website, I'm done, and I just hope that they become aware and engage and read and then inquire. That's 4 steps with one campaign. You can't do it. You just can't do it, or can't do it effectively and predictably. So the campaign to generate new inquiries will be different than the campaign to get somebody that inquires to enroll. You need to deliver different messaging at different stages. So today, again, the lead up, right? Today, the lead magnet, which is the 3rd stage, we're going to talk about the campaign needed to move a website visitor to give you their contact information that automatically try to convert them to an inquiry. Okay, and just like I did in August for the part of that webinar, I looked at all of your websites, a lot of them, about a little over 100. I didn't see anybody that had this on here. So when I make my official bribe at the end, you all need to take me up on it, because it doesn't cost you any money. And you need to take action and do it, because if you want the results that this provides, which is predictable marketing, save you time, save you money, and change from, if you're dealing with any flat or declining enrollment and you want to consistently increase enrollment, you're going to need what I talk about at the end. Okay, so if you're running any ads right now and you don't have this, you need to stop, because you're wasting time, you're wasting money on all of that stuff. Organic search, SEO, your blogging, your social media, all of it. All right. People are going to your website, they're bouncing off, you're not getting their contact information, and you're never going to be able to market to them again unless you run ads again, which gets more expensive. Being able to incorporate a lead magnet allows you to market at about, I think, a 33% decrease in total ad spend or total marketing spend over the course of a year. Okay. So it's vitally, vitally important. So as I said, there's little value in deploying traffic strategies without understanding the components of that journey. And that's why I talked about that journey, and I didn't just jump into lead magnets. And again, like I said, you're gonna be wasting time and money without these components in place. So somebody had asked earlier, give me the definition. What is a lead magnet? For all those folks that weren't part of that webinar where I first introduced this concept, so there's real quick, there's a question, how to use the email addresses. Amy, I'll answer your question at the end. I do have some content on that I can give you, especially in the Facebook group. I can always provide more information, because I know, like today, like there's so much involved in marketing. Today is just one piece of that journey, right? So, what about the rest of it? And the webinars, the Facebook group, I'm gonna give you as much content as I possibly can, so that you guys really thrive with your marketing. So again, back to the lead magnet. I was asked about a definition. Here's what it is. The purpose of the lead magnet is to provide an irresistible bribe that hits your target market right between the eyes, compels them to give you their contact information in exchange for a promised bribe. Sorry, it needs to be specific, actionable, provide value beyond what would typically be expected. It's also the beginning of the funnel, right? This is your highest leverage point. If you want to increase, if you did nothing else but increase your total number of inquiries, you're naturally going to increase enrollment, right? No matter what your conversion rates are from application to enroll, if you increase that top of the funnel, you're naturally going to be able to increase enrollment as well. So I mentioned the lead magnet, getting contact information. You might be thinking, oh, I might have one of those. I ask people for my email address on my website. This is not a lead magnet, and I see it all the time. Hey, give us your email and we'll send you some updates. Not a lead magnet. not a lead magnet, guys. Let's get into some lead magnet examples. And I want to start with the first example also as a way to illustrate the building of where the lead magnet is held, because that is just as important. And I'm going to use a school, Whitby, the Whitby School. And they have a great lead magnet here. It's 11 questions to ask when visiting a private school. So you see it's very specific. And you can see here the number one, here are the key elements that you need to have on a landing page. And again, if you've never seen something like this before, I'm going to get into more examples, but I want you to have this, and we won't go through each part because you'll have this as a downloadable resource to read through this and look through it. So they have a great title, right? If you notice here, what's missing, this is what the screenshot of their webpage looked like. Their navigation is missing, right? You don't want navigation. You don't want people to be able to click away or get distracted. The singular focus needs to be on get our free guide. Right? You compel them with some bullet points. You keep it very simple, very straightforward. Okay. All right. So that's the landing page. I won't dive in too much on the landing page today because you're going to see a lot of different examples. So when I ran this in August, I talked about this idea of a lead magnet. People got a little bit freaked out because I talked about ebooks. What am I going to give away? And I was like, well, you can give away an ebook, you can give away this article, and that's where everybody was like, oh boy, I got to write something. Who's going to write this? I have to pay somebody, and I get the overwhelm with that. So I want to go into a lot of different examples. It doesn't just have to be a guide or an ebook. It says I keep fading in and out. Is audio okay now? I just plugged it in, plugged it back in. Let me know if audio is okay. Okay, audio is good. Okay, I guess I was breaking up there for a little bit. Sorry about that. All right, sometimes I love and hate technology. All right, so let's get into a couple examples. One example of a lead magnet could be a guide, a report, or a prospectus. All right, so what I did was, we're just going to go to the website. We're just going to go to their websites and click around, if that's okay with you guys. By the way, this is the Facebook group. Join here if you haven't already. It's in your in the PDF that you should be able to download of the slides today. So what did I say? I said a guide, a prospectus. So a lot of you saw this on that previous webinar, Oak Knoll School of the Holy Child. This is their lead magnet. They had a freshman survival guide, so pretty cool guide, right? Think about what are the questions that my parents are asking? What can I provide them to solve their problems, right? So if there's a transition, obviously, from 8th grade into high school, what Oak Knoll did is they actually had students in their school write what they found most helpful. It was essentially a crowdsourced guide where each of the kids gave some really good tips about a freshman survival guide. Really cool. So you can see here, very simple page. Enter your name, email, what grade. So here's where you can also ask other questions, and I'll highlight this as we go through. Yes, we want name and email, but asking things like, what are you most interested in? And maybe giving them some options. Well, what grade are you applying for? Who are you, right? Because when this goes into your email marketing system, whether that's Constant Contact or, again, I'll show you one at the end here, you can then start creating lists and segments of lists. Because right now, probably I've asked this question before. I said, how many parents do you have on your email list? I might say 700 or 1,000, but they're all in one big list. Don't you want to communicate to the parent who has the 9th grade daughter who's interested in field hockey? Wouldn't you want to communicate to that person a little bit differently than the parent has the 8th grade boy who's really interested in computer science? Imagine the communication that you can have that's different with each one of those. Do you see how that would be really helpful? That's what your lead magnet can do by asking these questions, and then the answers can sort them on the back end into a segmented list. Okay, you might say, how the heck do I do that? I'm going to talk to you about how you're going to be able to do that at the end. And some people are having problems with audio. I'm really sorry. Some people are saying it's okay. Some people are saying it's cutting in and out. I'm just going to type in real quick. All right. All right, so I'm going to have to keep going. Hopefully it's okay for the majority of you. Okay. All right, guys. I'll try not to respond to all the audio issues. It seems like it's fine for most of you. Okay, so download your free ebook. So when you download it, let's hit submit. Maybe I was on here too long. Hit refresh. There we go. So it says download your guide here. Then what's going to happen is they're going to send me an email. They're going to show me where to download it. And now is when they're going to start nurturing. They're going to start emailing me once every few days saying, check out this blog post. By the way, come to our open house. They're going to start encouraging me now to take that next step. They got some basic information from me. I'm going to download the guide. They're going to say, click here to learn more. And then this is where I can start to inquire, right? So this is, you can see how you can start taking people down a path. What do I need to know now to take me from basic contact information to inquire? Maybe it's what other parents are saying. What's going to compel me to take the next step? The next step. Maybe it's what colleges they're going to. So think about that. This is the funnel. This is the two-step funnel, the landing page to the thank you page. And then there's the email follow-up. I'll talk about this. I'll just keep going. I'll keep talking about it. I think, you know, if this is foreign to you, it'll make sense as we go through. So this is a guide that they put together. This is what I showed in that previous webinar. I also think this is what freaked people out because it was like, how do I create that guide? Oh, it looks like they have a couple people to Lafayette. I went to Lafayette College, by the way. So looks like Oak Knoll had a couple people go to Lafayette. Pretty cool. It's a very small school, so whenever I see people with Lafayette gear on, it's always interesting. So let's go to another example. This is Lincoln Minster School. So what they have is they have their own prospectus to show you what life at Lincoln Minster is all about. Their curriculum. So essentially they took everything about their school, their curriculum, what you're going to learn, their course load, and that's what I'm going to download. So you might already have this. So this would be pretty cool. If you already have something like this, put it into a PDF. Don't just put it on your website as a downloadable file. Have somebody opt in for it. This is called a landing page, a squeeze page. Fill in your details to get it. And as you can see, they're asking for a lot more information. I may not ask for all this information. I actually don't love the look of this. I think it's a little bit cluttered. I like to be really streamlined and clear. But you can see they're going to start filtering their email list based upon answers to this. So I get what they're doing. Might be a little bit much, but nonetheless, this is their lead magnet. All right, so that's an example of a guide or a prospectus. You might have some of these already, but they might just be a downloadable document right now. Put them in a landing page or in a funnel. And again, we're not going to get into a ton of this today, but what needs to happen is the following. They enter in their email address. They get taken to a thank you page. They download the document. Then they're compelled to inquire. Take that next step. And then you have to set up an automated email sequence. Again, this is where people start to get a little bit freaked out. I'm going to talk about this at the end about how you're not going to have to worry about doing any of this, frankly. It's all going to be done for you. I just want to show you what's possible. All right, so let's go back to here. So that's a guide, a report, a prospectus. Lead magnet option number 2. Handout or cheat sheet. Probably don't want to call it a cheat sheet since you're dealing with school. Obviously, you're a school, and parents are like, well, the school is giving out stuff to cheat. So that may be bad terminology, but something useful, something that's going to help people answer questions. So let me give you an example. Sewickley Academy, and I also saw Academy at the Lakes. One of our consultants, Penny Rogers, used to work there, and she did this as well. Oh, whoops. Let me go back. There we go. It was 27 questions to help evaluate a school for your child. So you can see this has nothing to do with Sewickley Academy, right? It's just, this is for parents that are in the evaluation stage. Here are 27 questions that as you're evaluating, as you're going to open houses, these are the things you need to answer to determine what's the best school for you and your child. So you put in the contact information there, and this is what the guide looks like. Here's the questions, right? So what is the school known for? What type of child succeeds at the school? Here's all the questions that they're encouraging parents to get answers to. Now, here's what's really cool about this. So they sent this to me in an email. In the follow-up email, a couple days later, they said, well, guess what? Here's Sewickley's answers. So they answered their own questions so that parents didn't have to then go to Sewickley and ask those questions. Here are the answers as to why what Sewickley is known for. So it's a great way to, another way to communicate your mission and your values to families. So I think this is an easier one to do, where come up with some questions, and again, go to Sewickley, go download this, take a look at what they did, copy it, don't plagiarize it, copy the flow. So this is a really good one. I like this one a lot. And of course they have the answers. So Norman, you had a question. As a consumer, I get so much email that any site asking for my email in order for me to continue is a 100% no for me. How do you account for that kind of reaction? That's a good question. It all comes down to value. I mean, there's other ways to deliver this besides email. This is past what we're going to talk about today, but through Facebook Messenger is becoming a very hot tool to use. Click here, this will be delivered to Facebook Messenger. People don't even have to put in their email address, but you can still market to them. So there's different ways to do it, but it comes down to value, guys. If you're not putting in your email for something, then it's obviously not that valuable to you. Families are thinking about education for their child. And if you can provide something that's going to help them, that's why it needs to be really, really helpful. All right. So email marketing is still the #1 source of marketing for me and for ISM. Yes, there's going to be people that are like, I enter my email in for everything. This is a little bit different, right? You want to make sure that you're providing tons and tons of value. That's the name of the game. So James, thanks for joining me. Yeah, rise of website chatbots. Yeah, so James, you're absolutely right. Website chatbots are becoming the new email. Essentially, we're seeing huge conversion rates with them. Again, this will be great to talk about in the Facebook group after. It's past what is expected during this webinar, but it's what's coming. And that's why I created the Facebook group, because we can talk about what's coming from a marketing standpoint. All right. But even though you might feel that way, guys, trust me, this still works. What we're finding is that for every 100 people that visit your website, around 30% will enter their email, which is a pretty good conversion rate. Because again, without this, how are you going to capture their information? You have to do it. All right. It's better than just having nothing. Let's just put it that way as well. But you have to do it. But you don't always have to just get their email. It could be a chatbot. It could even be a phone number for a text. People are probably more resistant to giving a phone number, but I've seen people do it. All right. So let's go to, so yeah, I don't want you also to dismiss, well, I always enter my email, it doesn't work. I promise you it does work. Maybe it doesn't work as well as it did in 1998 or 2007, because we all get so much email, but this works and you need to do it. A webinar. Here's a great way to do it. Let me see. So Sewickley Academy, again, Sewickley's great at doing their marketing. You can see they have a college research worksheet over here as well. Download now. They have a webinar that you can enter in your contact information to watch this webinar. I think they took the contact information off of this one, but if you have webinars, so for example, Sewickley even said publicly, we're having really trouble filling our open houses. Open houses for them are dead. They're not dead for everybody, but they used webinars to educate their families about the school. So the webinar might be about financial aid. The webinar might be about college prep. You can use a webinar to gather people's contact information, just like I'm doing right now, or just like I've done to get you here, to get their contact information. So again, if it's something that parents want, they're going to give you their contact information. All right, so that's the webinar. Just a video. So video is an interesting one. So Oak Knoll School had 7 elementary school separation anxiety tips for parents. So parents usually worried about kids and separation anxiety. How's that first day of school going to go? They have a blog post. At the bottom of their blog post, they say, watch this video on 9 steps to overcome it. Well, think about it, guys. If this is a concern and you're reading this, this is the perfect next step. Download the video now. Again, very similar. They're going to take me to a video. landing page to video to automated emails, getting me to take the next step. All right. Somebody asked a question, Linda, does a lead magnet page come up each time someone lands on our website? It's a separate page. You could have pop-ups. There's a lot of different ways to do it. These are separate pages where in your blog posts or on your homepage, you might have a link over to it. As you saw with Sewickley, they had this webinar page. They also had this college research worksheet, download now. It was a pop-up. A lot of different ways you can do it. All right, so that's a video. Interactive quiz or survey. These are really popular now as well. Interactive quizzes and surveys are becoming probably the hottest new form of lead magnets in the marketing world. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Specs Howard School of Media Arts. They have a quiz that you can take to find out what professions might match your personality and interests. So this is like more of a vocational. You can see they have pop-ups, join us for our next open house, learn more. They have to register, chat with us. You can see they're using a chat bot. And then they take you through an interactive quiz where at the end, they're going to give you the answer based upon, they're going to give you the conclusion based upon your answers. So it's customized quiz that they say, okay, we've got your results. Give us your contact information. We'll send them to you. This is probably one of the highest converting lead magnets now. And let me show you one that I'm currently working on for a school. The portrait of a Ramona graduate. We're all familiar with the idea of a portrait of a graduate. What is your child going to look like when they graduate? So look at this. I'm going to take you through this. This is pretty cool. How will your life and education be impacted as a school at Ramona? Take 90 seconds. Tell us a little bit about your daughter. It's an all-girls school. We can help you clearly illustrate the impact Ramona will have on her today and the years following. So let's get started. This is my daughter's name, Annabelle. So tell us a little bit about your daughter, Annabelle. What grade is Annabelle entering? So it's already become personalized. Annabelle is entering 9th grade. What are some of Annabelle's interests and favorite things to do? Very basic right now. She loves to sing and play music. Favorite subject, she's in the arts. This is where these answers can then segment. Yep. Can you guys still hear me? It says that I'm unable to connect. Okay. All right. So this is where it's going to segment on your email list. Now you're going to have a list of Annabelle is interested in the arts and music. So now you can communicate to me a whole lot differently. Where are you in your school search process? I've been to an open house already. I'm in the early stages. How familiar are you with Ramona? So this, you're kind of asking where people are on their own parent value journey. You have no idea who we are or very familiar with who you are. What's the most important to you in trying to find the perfect school for Annabelle? Let's just put college prep. Please provide your email. We'll send you the portrait of the graduate results. I think if somebody gets this far, they're going to give you their email address. It's called micro commitments. They're going to do it. Now, here's what you can expect Annabelle to experience as a graduate of Ramona. There's a nice video, and it says, Dear Clint, and it takes us through this whole story. It's taking parents through a story, and you can see here it's inserting Annabelle, my daughter's name. And based upon the answers, we can have some custom information in there. Like you mentioned your daughter's interested in the arts. Here's what Ramona has for the arts. So this is a really, really cool lead magnet, interactive, very custom, very personal. I'm really excited to get this going. So this is what we're building right now. And you can have it as well. I'll talk to you about how. All right, so any questions so far? You guys liking this? Is this helpful? Okay. All right, so, and a view book. I was trying to look for an example. I saw this in a workshop, but many of you have view books. You can simply put that within a landing page. Do you want to view our view book? Do the landing page like you've seen the other ones, and and if you want to view our view book, give us your contact information. Okay. All right. So as you're creating these, as you can see, this is a whole lot more than subscribe for more updates, right? There's a checklist that you need to have to go through when you're creating your lead magnet. It has to be ultra specific. Don't say I'm going to send you blog post updates. Say we're going to give you our freshman survival guide, our portrait of a graduate, our separation anxiety video. It has to be very specific. It has to focus on just one thing. Don't say, you know, here are the I don't know, I'm drawing a blank, but be focused on one thing, okay? Speak to a desired end result. What are you going to get? 9 ways to overcome separation anxiety. So if I'm a parent and I'm concerned about my kid's separation anxiety, your lead magnet is going to give me 9 ways to overcome that. It has to be immediate gratification, something that people can consume within 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Not a 50-page ebook, not something where they have to get multiple emails in order to consume it. It's a checklist, it's a cheat sheet, they're going to get it right away. And ultimately what you're doing is you're shifting the relationship from somebody that's just evaluating, now they're a prospect, now they're a potential lead. And if you have multiple lead magnets and you have people that are downloading multiple lead magnets, that can also help indicate that this person's really interested. It has to have both high perceived and high actual value. Even though it's free, it doesn't matter. People don't care that it's free. They want help. They want questions answered. Your lead magnet needs to give it to them, because if you don't, then they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth, okay? Rapid consumption. So I already said, it has to be immediate gratification, rapid consumption, 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So any questions at this point? We've got about 10 minutes left. Oh, and I'm going to show you this as well. So this is actually a funnel template. This is what it looks like when you build this. If you were to go to one of those agencies and said, okay, build me my lead magnet funnel, build me that landing page, build me the thank you page, set up my automated emails. This is what that looks like, where we're going to send traffic to the landing page. We're going to send them to a thank you page. We're going to email them and deliver to them. We're going to then set up automated emails to try to get them to then inquire. So a lot of folks are asking now what programs are out there to help with this. That's what I'm going to show you at the end. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, so this is the template. You'll get this, but this is actually what a funnel is when you're building it out strategically. And so once you build this out, this is where you're going to send a lot of your traffic now. Instead of just your home page, send it to your lead magnet, okay? Because you're always going to get the people that are super interested to inquire. Those people are easy. It's the ones that are in the evaluation stage and the awareness stage. What are you going to do with them? And we need to capture their information one way or another. So we covered a lot, right? And this isn't the end. We covered a lot today. The question I wanted to pose to you, and I kind of been hinting at this the entire time, but would you like it, you know, look, if I could help you implement this and do it for free, right? A lot of you asked what type of programs are out there, how can we do this, how do we write this, is it okay if I talked about how to actually get this done? It's going to be an offer. It's not going to cost you anything. There's a cost later for the software. It's nothing that you're paying us. So there's a question. Hold on. People had said, what's indoctrination? Indoctrination means you're introducing people to your school. That's all that means. So if it's okay with you guys, I'll talk about how you can actually accomplish this, how you can get this set up by the end of the week, and how you don't really have to do any of the work. Would you guys like to see that? All right, so there's a question, is this like a CRM? No. CRM is a different piece. This is to get people into your CRM, frankly. All right. So, as I said before, if you were to go and ask a designer or coder to do that, to build that funnel, it will cost you $5,000 plus. If you don't believe me, go Google it. How much does a marketing or sales funnel cost? You will see it's $5,000 plus monthly fees. If you do it yourself, you do need software to do this then. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you about the software. It's not our software. It's software that's out there. It's what I use. It can cost you anywhere from $97 to $800 a month. It's a lot, I know. We're not talking about the $800 software. But ultimately, it's going to cost you tons of time, right? Even though you might like this and love this, and you're like, I want to get that interactive portrait of a graduate set up, how much time is that actually going to take you? You're going to be here months. I know that because I learned it the hard way. You're going to be here a very long time trying to do that. But there's a third option. There's a catch to where I said, you know what, forget the only for 20 schools only. This is what I was thinking about before, forget that. So I want to essentially give it to you for free. I will set up your funnel. I'll write that 3-part email sequence for you. I'll give you a lead magnet that's already done that can be customized and white labeled for you. And we'll do an onboarding session to essentially, do a little bit of customization, get it set up. How do I add this to my website? You don't have to fiddle with anything on your website. And you're going to be immediately able to send this to your current list of parents. So you probably have some prospects there that they inquired at some point, maybe they went to an open house, but they haven't moved forward. One of the things I recommend is actually getting them to engage with your lead magnet, get them re-engaged. I'll write the email script for that, to do that. Okay, that's like over $5,000 if you put that all together, right? I factor this in from prices that even I've charged in the past, what's out there. Plus, we're going to be holding a digital advertising one-day workshop. It's going to be about $1,000 bucks. Going to go through the full parent journey, every single step, how to set it up. Then we're going to do an inbound marketing one-day workshop, how to do the blogging, how to drive targeted traffic, how to do Facebook ads the inbound way, how to strategically move people through your journey, right? So we're going to get all that. I'm going to add that in, and it even has more value, right? Tons, over $7,000 worth of value. I just want to give to you. Why? There's a catch, and I'll tell you the catch. The only catch is that when I do this and you're happy with it, I'm just looking to get testimonials and case studies. I would just love to see this work for you guys. And if you can give testimonials and case studies, I'll give you all this if you're interested in doing this. Now, the only thing that you need to do is, actually, I'll get to it in a second. So here's the only thing that you need to do. There's a piece of software out there. It's called ClickFunnels. It ends up costing about $97 a month. There's a free trial. You can stop it at any point. I use ClickFunnels whenever I build the funnels. It's a great software that you can just plug into your website and it builds those landing pages. I've already built this funnel out. When you get the ClickFunnels and you get connected to my account, and you just send me your confirmation email, I'll share the funnel with you. It's all done. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to build anything, write anything. You don't have to do anything. It'll just be put into your account. And then you can get it installed on your site in minutes. And that's where I'll do the live onboarding with you and make sure you're good to get set up. All right. So to do that, it costs $0. This is how you get attached to my account, that bit.ly.clint funnel. If you just click on, or you can't click on that here, you click on the PDF. If you type that in, it is $97. They have more bells and whistles. You can get a $297. Just sign up. It's $0. We'll have it set up before the trial ends. You're going to need the software anyway. If you want to do this, you're either going to have to get the software or pay somebody else to do it. The software is cheaper, but usually the software takes time. So you need the software anyway. Go get the software, try it out for 14 days, make sure you like it, and I'll give you all that stuff, right? So going back, just for doing the software, which you need anyway, this is everything that you're going to get. I'll build the whole funnel. I'll write all the emails for you. Yes, you can customize it, put it in your own email software. You'll get access to the workshops, and all you have to do is get the software that you would need anyway. Right? So if all this did was, if you can increase the leads like those other schools did, I mean, that value would be worth it to begin with, even paying $4,000 or $5,000. But you don't have to pay any of that. You don't have to pay me. And this might be something in the future we are going to charge for. But right now we're just looking for, you said, what's the catch? I don't have what's the catch page on here. The catch page is just testimonials. We're just looking for some case studies and testimonials to do this. So if you're interested, let me go back. Sorry, I kind of messed this up. Click this. It will ask for a credit card. It's not going to charge you. It's $0. We'll have everything set up before it ends. I would imagine you're still going to continue with it because you need it anyway. Somebody asked, is this like HubSpot? HubSpot's actually the $800 option. I like HubSpot. We use HubSpot. as well as our marketing platform, but $800 can be a lot, especially if you're just trying something out. $97 is actually a pretty good price. There's other landing page builders out there. They're in the $100 to $200 range as well, but do this and you'll get all this stuff. So who owns ClickFunnels? It's called Russell. The guy's name's Russell Brunson. He owns ClickFunnels. It's a separate company. We have nothing to do with it. It's software that I use. We need software to build these things. If you don't have a coder, you need the software. This is the software that I use. There's a lot of different software platforms out there. This is what I found to be the best, the easiest. It integrates with your Constant Contact. Does Constant Contact do this? No, it doesn't. That's your email software. You can build some landing pages. I think they're clunky in there, frankly. And then again, you can do any of this on your own. You're going to need the software anyway. I'm just going to do it for you. Is ClickFunnels different from HubSpot? ClickFunnels and HubSpot do different things. HubSpot can build landing pages, but it also does a lot of, you can do your blogging on HubSpot. ClickFunnels is to build these lead magnet funnels. It's to build those funnels. That quiz funnel that you saw, there's some software out there, different software to do that, but you can use ClickFunnels to do that as well. So if you like that portrait of a graduate, I can build that in ClickFunnels and just give it to you. So it's there to build those funnel pages. So I assume the information lives in the software program. Is it able to be imported to our current system? Absolutely. So the goal of getting that contact information is, so ClickFunnels has their own email integration. That's really cool. That's where it would cost you the $297 if you want it. But if you already have email software, you can connect it to ClickFunnels. So any of those leads goes into your email software, which can then go into your Blackbaud enrollment management. Or if you're using School Admin or any of the others, you can get these contacts and put them in there as well. So, I assume that you'll likely have to chat with your team, get this done. If you have questions, I'm going to be in the Facebook group that I created. That'll be in the PDF that you downloaded. But like I said, guys, you need the software anyway. I was thinking about the best way to get this done for you so that you can start generating more leads. And if we can do some case studies at the end to see how much your leads have increased, that's all I'm looking for out of this. You just subscribed to Lead Pages for a year. Can you do all of that with Lead Pages? Yeah, so that's the lead. Yeah, it's different. I don't even know if Lead Pages has the share option. I use ClickFunnels as well because I can just share the funnels into your account. I don't know if Lead Pages can do that. I frankly haven't. I know of Lead Pages. I've used them a little bit, but not a whole lot. So Susie, if it's for a year, and look, if you already know that you're building these lead pages and you see the value, see if you can get a refund. ClickFunnels does more than Lead Pages. I like ClickFunnels better than Lead Pages. So you can get a refund and just go get ClickFunnels, and then I could share share it with you. It's probably similar price. All right, so there's a lot of questions come in. Does the landing page prevent people from entering our website? Absolutely not. No. If you have a blog or even just a homepage, you're going to have calls to action where you're going to say, click here to get your worksheet, and you're going to send them to another page on your website. That's all. It doesn't replace anything on your website, doesn't prevent anybody from going anywhere. Does it interface with MailChimp? Yes, it does, Patrick. It interfaces with all of the major email marketing providers. If you want to use this, you can, or if you want to integrate your existing email providers, you can do that. And like I said, I'll just give you those emails and you can plug them right in. Can this be integrated with any website? So if we use Final Site, will it be compatible? Yeah, absolutely. There's a few steps to just add it onto your web page, and you can add it on. It's very easy. Can I get the link to this webinar so I can share with our communication directors? Absolutely. You're going to get that within an hour when this is over. Does it matter what platform you use for your website? Absolutely not. It works with any single platform. It's easiest, frankly, if you have WordPress, but it can work with any platform. I mentioned I could download the slides. I can't see where. On your GoToWebinar dashboard, there should be handouts. You can download the handouts there. With the free trial, will there be any cost once everything is set up, or a set time frame for such as a 3-month after the initial setup? No. Everything that I mentioned I'm going to give you, you're going to get. Okay. The free trial is their software trial. Get in there and use it. You're going to want to keep using it. You have to. If you have to use some piece of software or pay somebody to build the landing pages. It's better to have the software, in my opinion, because you're eventually going to want to have multiple lead magnets. As you saw Sewickley, they had a quiz, they had a webinar, they have different worksheets. You want different lead magnets for different stages of the parent journey. For different people, if they're in the lower school versus middle school versus upper school, you want to have different lead magnets. So if you have ClickFunnels, you can create those different lead magnets without having to continually keep paying somebody. And once you have one set up, you can just replicate it and change some of the content. It's drag and drop easy. Can you integrate the landing pages on Weebly? Absolutely, Sandro. If our school and a competitor school did this, how would the information sent differ? I can give you different lead magnet options. I have some already built. If you said you wanted a different one, maybe one of you does the interactive portrait of a graduate and somebody else chose something else. I mean, we could figure that out. I wouldn't give the same thing to the same person by any means. You're going to be able to customize it to your school as well. You know, it can only be so good if it's just coming from me. It needs to be your school information, but I'm going to give you the structure for the lead magnet itself. Thanks for the insight. Okay, Kim, thanks for joining. Does ClickFunnels work with senior systems? If it's if senior system, I know they have accounting software, but ClickFunnels senior systems website, yeah, if they have a website feed. I'm not as familiar with senior systems. Jesse, what's the Facebook group name again? Hold on. I'll get to the Facebook group. Here's the Facebook group. If you missed this earlier, figure that's an, or you can go in the search and search groups. It's called Private School Marketing. That's what I called it. All right, I'm going to pull up the this as well. So again, I'll send everybody that link for the Facebook group. All right. All right. So I see a lot more questions. I'm going to stay here and answer all the questions. Can ClickFunnels glean information about our site's users if we use their service? Is it secure? Yeah, I mean, all these sites are secure. The short answer is yes. Feel free to go around the web, their website, click around, learn more. I mean, I can take you there to show you what it looks like. They're a $100 million company. They're secure as any company. So you just go here, get your 14-day trial. And I mean, this software is really built by marketers for marketers. That's why it has a very marketing feel. But the whole point is to build the funnel, to build those pages. This is one of the best ways I know how to do it. So you create an account, create your ClickFunnels account. It'll ask you for your credit card. It's $0, 14 days. We'll have your funnel set up before then. You can decide whether you want to continue with it, but I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, it's truly an investment. I mean, you have to think about this as an investment, because if you're going to be able to increase leads and inquiries, what is the value of just even getting one more enrolled student from this? I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. All right. So again, don't just go to ClickFunnels and do it. Use this link. That way you can get attached and I can share it with you. Okay. You have to use this link so that I can share it with you. And that's the cool feature about ClickFunnels, is that I can share the funnels with people. So that's why I can just give it to you and it doesn't take up a lot of time. In the beginning, you said add 2 pages to your website. One is the landing page. What is the second? It's that, Jesse, it's that thank you page. It's the confirmation page. A lot of people use that second confirmation page as a way to say, hey, thanks, go check your email. I use that thank you page as a way to compel people to take that next step. If you remember what Oak Knoll did, it said, watch this video from our alumni. What are the next steps? Go to inquire. So because somebody puts their information into the landing page, you know they're interested. Capitalize on that interest. They have time now. Capitalize on that. And that's where we use that second thank you page. So it's just as important as that landing page. How quickly do we need to jump on this free offer? It's free right now. I don't have a set time. It's probably bad salesmanship of me to say that there's, but is this something that we're looking to charge for in the future? Something we're doing, not necessarily what's been done, necessarily in the past. So we're looking to build up some case studies here. So Patrick, for right now, as long as you see this, it is a free offer for you, truly free, with the only catch being I would love a case study, and yeah, you're gonna have to pay for the software. You have to do that anyway. What if we use Blackbaud K-12 products? I'm not sure if Blackbaud has a landing page builder or anything like that. I mean, I know Blackbaud has a lot of different systems and apps. If you have a website, this attaches to it. That's all. You'll just have a page that says /, survival guide landing page. Okay. So somebody had said, once I go to ClickFunnels, how do I sign up with you? Make sure you use this link. Go there, then just sign up. Send me your confirmation email just so that I know, and I think I get a record if you're attached, but send me your confirmation email that you signed up for ClickFunnels, and we can get going. And I'll provide some more instructions in the Facebook group, and I'll reach out to you personally. What we're going to end up doing is likely just setting up a live session together for everybody that is doing this, and we're just going to walk through, here it is, here's how to get it set up. And ClickFunnels does a great job of providing amazing content. They provide tons and tons of training themselves. So if you have a question about just the funnel process, go to ClickFunnels. They have tons of videos. It's a great platform. How's the information provided? How do you manage the database on ClickFunnels, or can you export it? It's up to you how you want to do it. If you want to connect it to, it's obviously your information, your database. If you're using Constant Contact or anything like that, you know that when you get that email, I mean, that's yours. So it's yours to do what you want to do with it. If you want to use ClickFunnels for your emails, you can, or your text messages, or using bots. They have it all in there. They have some really cool stuff. Or if you want to connect it to your MailChimp or your Constant Contact or whatever you're using for your email, you can. Joan says, can I have a few days to discuss and get back to you? Absolutely. Joan, jump in the Facebook group. Contact me there. Send me an email if you have any questions. I've gone to ClickFunnels, created a free trial. Should I receive a confirmation email if this is what you would like forwarded to? You should receive a confirmation email, Rebecca. Once you sign up, just send whatever they send over to you. I believe it's a confirmation email. I signed up a long time ago, but I believe that's what they do. All right. Confirmation email is slow to arrive. So it should be there, but I'll get this as well. I should be able to see and check. So, all right, guys. Well, this was a lot. I know this was a lot. I hope that this offer is helpful for you, because again, I remember from the last webinar, you're like, oh, the lead magnet's great. How the heck are we going to build this whole thing without spending tons of money and time? So I hope that this will be really helpful for those that really see this value and what you're able to do and really come into the new age world of marketing. Look, you can do tried and true stuff, quote unquote, the paid advertising you've been doing forever, the billboards, even people are saying now, emails, what emails are going away. As you'll see in ClickFunnels, they even have new ways to use bots and chat bots and text messages and Facebook notifications. It is absolutely amazing what you can do now to capture the attention of people and to give them the value. So we've only scratched the surface. Lisa, will you send an email summary of this offer? Yeah, so you're going to get probably 2 emails. One is an hour from when this ends. You're going to get an email just with the recording. That's automated from GoToWebinar. I'll send a personal email out kind of recapping everything here. It'll provide some more of the downloadable resources. So yeah, take the next day or so, take a look at this offer, click around. If you have questions about ClickFunnels, you're not sure about it, does it work with your systems, jump in the Facebook group you should have the link. If you don't, I'll give it to you in the email, and let's chat there. That's why I created it, so that we can all communicate there very easily. I'd like our main marketing person to watch this recording. The recording is going to be available 1 hour from when I end this thing. Paige, you said this was exhausting for you, and I'm looking forward to delving into all this. I do these enough now. Sometimes I get tired, but I've done these enough now where I get used to it. All right. Will this replay for my IT team ahead of school? Yeah, you're going to get the replay link. Replay it for any. Send it to whoever you want. Yep, you're going to be emailed. You're going to be emailed. Yeah, everybody, you're going to get the recording. All right. So I hope you guys are all excited about this. I get pretty geeky when it comes to digital marketing. I love this stuff. So that's, if you have questions about it, these are the things I love to answer. So besides watching the Eagles tonight, I'll likely be in the Facebook group tonight, answering any questions that you have. So what is the name of the Facebook page? So I called it very simply Private School Marketing. Let me go back. So again, if you need that Facebook group link, there it is. It's in the handouts in your GoToWebinar dashboard if you download it, but here it is. That gets you in there. That gets you in the Facebook group. All right. All right, guys. So again, hopefully this was helpful. Sometimes I feel like I might overdo it with information, and I hope I don't overwhelm. But even if you are overwhelmed, but you get the concept, again, hopefully that click funnels and you jump on that offer and it'll clear everything up for you and get you moving in the right direction with your marketing. And if anybody can hear the landscaper outside the window right now, that might be my cue to get going. Is it a closed group? It will be a closed group, Kathy, just meaning you have to click to join to apply. Applying just means I have to go and approve you. So once this is over, I'm going to go approve everybody to get in. Yep. So if you go to that Facebook group and it says click to apply, just go click and I'll add you in there. All right. Okay. Looks like that's it for the questions. Again, join in the Facebook group. If you have questions, follow up, something you think about, I'll be in there answering questions. I'll likely hop in there tonight after I get home and settle down for the Eagles game. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll probably be holding some more webinars, so keep an eye on your email, and see you hopefully in the Facebook group. And again, anything you get from ClickFunnels, if you sign up, let me know that you signed up. Even if you don't get a confirmation email right away, email me, let me know you signed up, and I'll double check on that for you, and we'll start getting your funnel set up. All right, guys. Thanks. See ya.